At least by the time it is ready, we'll touch some theory part. So we had in the info package we have a tab called schedule, okay, which can be leveraged to schedule data in the foreground or in the background bus. So we can use this to schedule load in background, but but if you're loading your file from the local workstation, we cannot schedule this in the background. Only if it is file extracting from application server, we can schedule this in the background, okay. And that is it. And then we have something called what, update tab. Then we have what updates, full initialize delta update and delta update. But as of flat file, you will get to see only full, but you can simulate delta by leveraging data selections of the info package. Okay. So what I'm trying to do now is we have this file, right? I'm going to copy this file into my server. So I'm logging into server system bus 192.168.0.120. Okay. So now I would like to load it from what? We're going to touch on the next tab bus, extraction tab. Now drop down. I would like to load it from what? Application server. Select this. That will ask me file name. So you go with what? A11 files. I can choose it here also. And then what? Dear, I play actually in the server system. I placed in this path. Okay. In this default D drive. Yeah. And now what is this file? Sales, yeah. This is the one, sales transactions dummy.csv. This was the file I placed in. Then double click on it. If you set display content, it will show me the date of it, of the file, yeah. But I would like to copy this file, copy name. So the file name is taken out, and the number of headers I've got 1. It's all common then. Then I would like to start loading from this. And do I have any selections? I would like to remove the selections. So this is how you can load it from application server bus from the okay. Basically in the AL you'll have a T code called AL11, and where you get to see all the directories, and we use a directory called dir_home and place your file in the respective path in the server system. Then you can start loading in, and 20 records are loaded. This is how you load it from application server. Simple, done. But in the real time, it will not be like this. For example, if I set up this file and if I schedule this info package to run daily, will it keep loading data from the same file? Yes or no? What is the use of loading same file every day? Practice. I need to get new data every day, right? If I just fix up my file name like this and schedule it to run every daily once, will it take data from same file? Does it make sense? No, right? So in the real time, the scenario would be something like this. When it's a flat file scenario, let's say you'll have application server of BW server system. Let's say you'll have some mainframe system, some mainframes, yeah. And due to some resource constraints, I'm not able to integrate these mainframes to BW directly. I cannot connect those systems for some resource constraints. Okay. Then what I'll do? You'll have mainframe consultant. I'll discuss with the mainframe consultant. I'll say you have to give me a file like this every day. Then he writes some program which will just read data from some table and generates a file. Yeah. And let's say the file is placed at this where in the mainframe server. Okay. Then we use some FTP, file transfer protocol tools, and transfer this file to what? To BW. And once the file comes to application server, you know how to load. In the info package, you say application server, select the file, and then start loading it. Now the mainframe guy generating the file and transferring the file through FTP to BW, and from there loading into BW. Is it a daily job or one-time job? Daily. So daily is going to create a new file. Yes, he's going to create a new file now, and then again new file comes in here. So next day I should load from what? Old file or new file? New file. So what I should do? I should go to my info package, change the file name, and then load. Does it make sense? If it is running in the background automatically, I don't want to change manually. System should identify the new file automatically. That's my requirement. Got the point? Scenario artham bus. Let's say he's giving me some sales files. I tell him you always give me the file name like the sales underscore. Every day is giving file, so represent that file name with the date so that I know which day file is it. As per my system, it's 14th, right? Say 2015 07 14th .csv. This is the file name for today. And tomorrow when you give me a different file name is what? Sales underscore 2015 07 50. అంటే ఏ రోజు డేట్ ఫైల్ ఆ డేట్ పెట్టు నేను దాన్ని బట్టి నేను కనుక్కుంటా అని నాకు లాజిక్. Getting what I'm saying? So in that case what I do is I go to my info package. I don't want to fix this file naming. I don't want to fix this path and the file name. Sorry. I missed it. Yeah, some name. I'm interested in this folder. Okay. So I don't want to fix this file always, but I would like to write some simple ABAP routine which will identify the new file what is coming always. Okay, good. So I'm expecting my file name to be as what? Sales underscore. For today it will be 2015 07 14 .csv. So this is the complete string I need to give it today. For tomorrow it's the same path, but I need to change this to what? 15. And a date marta undalante. Rest of the string is all same. Got this? Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll have to write a code where I'll formulate this string, combine this and pass it to that file. Okay. Now look at what I'll do. I'll take this. I'll say this as my till here string 1. Okay. I'll put this as str1 as my variable. String 1, I'll put this in single quotes. This is one string. str2 is equal. I want the current date. How will I get current date? Side datum. So side datum is not a string, so I'm not putting. I want the value of this variable, so I'm not putting in single quotes. Then I'll formulate one more string, str3 equal to single quotes dot cs, adoka string. And then I'll combine all these three strings, formulate my string what I want, and then put into a field which can fill this part. Got this point? So how will I do that now? Okay, I'm going to write here. Sorry, I'm going to say what is it? Create routine for file name. Now just click on this dynamic file selection. Okay, boss, it takes you to the ABAP editor where you can start writing a code to dynamically select my file. Okay, so what do no, when you go when you go to this code, but ready-made code is already declared. Only thing is, by default you see a parameter called p underscore file name. Now what are the file name you want to give in, the path in the file name, put that into this variable, and whatever you basically assign to this p underscore file name, that is what they considered in the info package. Okay, boss. So I need to concatenate the three strings and put into what? P underscore file name. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll declare those three variables and here at the top, and above, if you see starting with star, it means the line is commented. So I remove the star, and I'll by using the data variable, data keyword, I'll declare my variables. Okay, what is that variable you want? I want a string 1 which can hold 200 length, type character. Then one more variable str2 which can hold of length 8, type C, str3 of length dot csv of length 4, type C, put a dot, last variable put a period. Now I start writing my code. What is it? Can I take this part? What is it? str1 is equal to so and so, but I'm assigning values. str1 is equal, and end with a dot here. I'm just assigning the strings what I want. str1 is a complete path which is fixed from the first under this. String 2 is going to be current date. String 3 is going to be what? Dot csv anutundi. Then what I should do, I should combine all these three strings and put into what? P underscore file name. For this, we'll have a function called concatenate, and do that. Concatenate str1, str2, str3. Combine all these three things and put into what? P underscore file name. Now once I have this statement, if I have this statement, what happens? Again that becomes blank. So delete this out. అంటే ఇప్పుడు p underscore file name value పెట్టినా, again if you have next above statement which says p underscore file equal to blank, again it becomes blank. So remove that statement out. This is the code, boss. Okay, say save. As per my system, what is the date? Because of licensing problem, they have a different dates here. Enana 28th Feb. Okay, so actually as per the coding, what it does, it takes that path. The current date will be what? 2014 02/28. But do we have a file with the naming as sales underscore? No. Should it throw an error now? That's an error actually, but I can see this error. Failure. What does it say? Error message from the source. Okay. If you go to the header, you can understand from what file it is trying to pick from. D user SAP so and so sales 2014 02/28.csv. But with that name, I don't have a file, boss. That's the problem. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll try to rename. 2014 02/28, and I'll try to copy this file to server. Okay, see, I'm just copying that into server folder. Okay, now if I run now, should it start picking data from that file? Now I got one more successful now. From where it is picking from? Sales 2014 02/28. So there is a file with that name, so it is extracted data from there. Like this, we can go for dynamic file selections also. So in the real time, you would have concepts like this where every day new file comes in and then you start picking from the new file, so you'll have dynamic file select. ఎందుకంటే we don't see in the lab while practicing we are creating flat files, but in the real time you don't create files. There will be some other source person who creates a file, and then through FTP the file comes into my BW server. From there we load. So I need to have identify the dynamically a new file every day. This is called dynamic file selections. Okay.